Let's take a look at some accessible design around Wellington. Have you ever wondered what these bumps and lines are on the footpath? They're called Tactile Ground Surface Indicators, or TGSI. TGSI helps people who are blind or have low vision to navigate spaces. There are two types of TGSI, some that have lines and some that have round domes. TGSI are designed for them to be felt by a person that uses a white cane to navigate. They're also designed to be very easy to see, so it helps people that have vision impairment. Their bright yellow colouring against a dark pavement gives them high colour contrast, making them very easy to notice. TGSI with circular domes are warning indicators. Warning indicators are used to communicate that there is danger ahead, like at intersections where you have to cross the road where there are cars. Warning indicators tell you there is a danger, but not what type of danger. TGSI made of lines are called directional indicators. They provide information on which direction to walk in. At intersections, directional and warning TGSI are typically used together. Sometimes there's no curb between the road and the footpath. Warning TGSI are really helpful here. A lack of curb is helpful for people with mobility issues, like wheelchair users. But for people who use a white cane to navigate, it makes it impossible to tell they're about to walk onto a road where there may be cars. The bright colour of TGSI also helps people who have low vision to identify they're about to walk onto a road. This intersection on Courtney Place has no TGSI. This section of Cuba Street also has no TGSI. This is some seriously bad design. It's impossible to tell where the road and footpath are for someone who is blind. Warning TGSI should also be at the top and bottom of stairs, but here they are missing. Warning TGSI on stairs helps to prevent people falling down the stairs, but here they are also missing. This creates a significant health and safety risk, not only for people who are blind and low vision, but for simply people who are distracted on their phones and walking around. People who are walking while looking at their phone effectively have impaired vision. They are relying only on their peripheral vision to navigate. This demonstrates that accessible design is not just for disabled people, it also helps everybody. These stairs are particularly dangerous for people with low vision because they're all a similar colour, so they blend into each other, making it more likely that you're going to fall. Stairs that have contrasting edges are far safer. Here, TGSI have been correctly installed at the top and bottom of some stairs. However, these TGSI blend in with the pavement around them, reducing their effectiveness. Ideally, TGSI should be safety yellow, which is a colour most people notice and associate with danger. But sometimes safety yellow blends in with the pavement around it. Here, TGSI has been designed to blend in perfectly with the bricks on the footpath. This is not good practice, because it cannot be seen by people with vision impairment. Wellington has many examples of TGSI that is difficult to see. Shockingly, Wellington train station lacks TGSI on stairs. Warning TGSI are also used at train platforms to ensure people don't fall off the platform and onto the tracks. TGSI across the entire public transport system are extremely important to keep people safe and to help them navigate spaces. Unfortunately, there are many parts of the public transport system that do not have proper TGSI. For example, there are no directional TGSI to let blind people know where the doors are on the train. So at Wellington Station, blind people are warned about the edge of the platform, but they are not guided to the doors of the train. This issue is not just trains, it also applies to the bus system. Most Wellington bus stops have no directional or warning TGSI, making it really hard to find the door. This bus stop has warning TGSI, but no directional TGSI to the doors. This is at Wellington Station Stop A, so even the primary bus stations of Wellington lack basic accessibility features like directional TGSI. Unfortunately, this is just one of many accessibility problems with Wellington's public transport system. For example, I'm vision impaired and it's impossible for me to read the numbers on each bus, so I don't know when to wave the bus down, and they just drive past me, making the public transport system almost impossible to use. I didn't have this problem with Melbourne's tram system. Most intersections on Lambton Quay have warning TGSI, but they lack directional TGSI. In fact, when I walked Lambton Quay, I couldn't find any examples of directional TGSI. Here, the warning TGSI is so old it's very difficult to see, which is a common problem. TGSI does require proper maintenance and cleaning to remain visible and feelable by canes. While recording for this video, I walked past an accessible sculpture called Walk the Line outside Parliament. The artist is Joe Sheehan. It's a series of speakers embedded in the ground, which play the sounds of running water. The recordings are taken from nearby streams. Walk the Line symbolises the Waipiro stream, which has now been culverted. Jade discs have been placed in a meandering line, which remind me a lot of TGSI bumps. This art can be heard, felt, and seen. This type of art is accessible to blind people. I wish we had more public art like this. Right by this sculpture, I was surprised to find even Parliament steps lack TGSI. If you want to learn more about TGSI, I recommend reading RTS 14, which is best practice guidance released by Waka Kotahi NZ Transport Agency. Councils need to ensure they read this document and implement its recommendations. Based on my assessment today, I have seen Wellington fails these guidelines in many instances. The RTS 14 document clearly shows how TGSI should be installed. It teaches you everything you need to know about warning and directional TGSI. It contains helpful images and diagrams that make it easy to follow. Thanks for watching this video. I run a consultancy called OpenAccess. I help to make apps and websites accessible for disabled people. To learn more, visit openaccess.nz.